Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up gay culture. The straight pride flag is real, and so is its ugly agenda. In a world where LGBTQ pride flags radiate color, inclusivity, and hope, some corners of the internet and the political world have decided to offer up their own response, the so-called straight pride flag. And yes, it exists. In fact, there's more than one version of it. But while LGBTQ flags celebrate identities and build up community, these straight pride flags do the opposite. The most recognizable version of the straight pride flag is a dull black and white striped design, basically a desaturated knockoff of the rainbow flag, stripped of both color and meaning. Another variation adapts or adds male and female gender symbols to the center, attempting to emphasize heterosexuality with bland binary flair. Both flags are commonly described as part of the straight pride or heterosexual movement, a reactionary response to queer visibility. It's not just fringe internet forums embracing the idea. In 2015, the Russian political party United Russia, linked to Vladimir Putin, publicly displayed the flag during a national holiday celebrating family love and faithfulness. They did this just after same-sex marriage was legalized in the United States. Back in 2019, the straight pride concept took to the streets with a parade in Boston, organized by a group calling themselves Super Happy Fun America. But beneath the mockery, these events often reveal anti-gay and anti-trans sentiments, attempting to ridicule and diminish queer pride. While LGBTQ flags promote visibility, history, and love, the straight pride movement and its symbols echo backlash, bitterness, and bigotry. Let's be clear. Pride exists because queer people had to fight for the right to exist. Mm-hmm. Straight people have always had the world. Queer people created pride to survive it. End of story. Mm-hmm. So I totally agree with this story. It's just a veiled attempt. It's like white supremacy, mm-hmm. Other types of bigotry. It's basically saying, hey, I have a flag. This is my way of saying, I don't like you, mm-hmm. and promoting hatred. Mm-hmm. And it's just disgusting. We have so many great allies, and I think we need to continue to remind ourselves, and not that we can change everyone's mind out there, but I think, there are times where people will see that we're really just great people. We like to have fun. We're creative. I think I just had a little flashback moment where I remember many years ago in a previous life going off on a mostly all gay cruise and pulling out of the port, and there were heterosexual people on the one cruise line, and we were on the other cruise line, and we had fireworks and music and pageantry. They had nothing. And they were like looking over like, hey, what about us? Can we hop over? They were like visibly disappointed. Wow. And I think if we continued to promote that we can arise above it all, mm-hmm. and be who we are, I think it's going to be our strength.
And I think we just be ourselves.
Absolutely.
And, I think this whole campaign of straight pride is just ridiculous. Nobody ever questioned their right to marry, mm-hmm. their right to have a job, their right to
exist,
to exist, to
healthcare.
Walk down the street, healthcare. Right. I mean, they say that gay people or the LGBT community is throwing ourselves in their face. Meanwhile, straight propaganda is all around us. Right. And two people walking down the street holding hands is a horror. Mm-hmm. I just think that people want attention, and it's all about attention seeking.
Well, I say shame on straight pride. Right. We should organize protests at their pitiful events the same way they do at ours. Like the protesters that were outside of Naples Pride this weekend, mm-hmm. were terrifying. I haven't seen that in the numbers that were there. It was just shocking. It's been a long time since I've seen that. So maybe we should organize protests.
And I know that there's some money. I can't remember the individual's name, but there's a gentleman who heads up one of the organizations on the right wing from Marco Island. And it's scary that someone would take so much money to promote a hateful agenda.
Right. It's really sad. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBT stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.